a couple of seconds to go for market open, and we'll have it coming up on your screen. We'll look at indices and we'll go down and look at individual stocks as well. What do we have? It's absolutely flat on the Nifty, 24,340 or so on the Nifty. The Nifty Bank is up, blinking red and green, nothing on it, but I think we are now turning back into the green a little bit. As I said in the morning, the question is, will some of the nervousness around the India-Pakistan border issue, which was keeping sentiment depressed, start to moderate a little bit it's not gone away, it's still a topical conversation, but as days roll on, will the market starts to feel a little more comfortable here. Small cap index is up 1/3%. I think you've got the mid cap index, which is also starting a little higher. And actually on the screen, it's all green. The Nifty heat map should come up on your screen next, and it'll give you a quick sense of how we are likely to start. It's all mostly in the green. Some actually 14, 15 names are in the red as well. I can see Eternal on one end and Adani Ports on the other end. Surabhi.
On Eternal, the price cuts that some of the brokers are talking about, or rather the earnings expectations cut, Motilal Oswal's estimates have been reduced by 52% for FY26 and some 20-odd% by FY27. So given by that stretch, it's not bad. The stock is seeing buying. It opened gap down, but it's already recovering very, very smartly as we speak. So that's Eternal out of the way. Let's look at the rest of the market. Adani Ports, 3.5% higher. And Adani Enterprises, which also reported numbers that looked good, up about 1.5%. Jio Financial is having a good morning, 1.5% higher. Hindalco, there's some buying on it, but I don't see too many other metal stocks. It's Hindalco, the lone ranger as of now. M&M, so it was just selling us best in class as always, once again, 1.5% up after the April sales numbers. Tech is doing pretty okay today. Wipro, Infosys, it seems to be a little bit of a NASDAQ rub-off effect. HCL Tech, etc. All these stocks up. Reliance is helping the bulls this morning, 0.7% higher. So is HDFC Bank. So it's the big boys at the crease, and they're keeping things, quite supported, well supported. On the downside, Eicher Motors, 2% lower. Bajaj Auto, 1% lower. Let's look at Hero. Hero is down about 1% as well. Hero's numbers for April, the sales numbers were fairly disappointing. But everything put together, 100 up on the Nifty, so not too bad, Nigel.
Well, that's right. From the broader markets, a few stocks that are moving around. Railtel, that stock is up close to around 8%. Massive move is what we're seeing out there. JSW Infra, that's up close to around 2.5%. Big volumes out there. Reliance Power, actually, we had some news coming in on the exchanges. They've done a deal for some offtake. So that's moving on very, very large volumes, massive volumes in the first couple of minutes. So that's moving higher. NMDC, after a few months, they've gone ahead and effective a price increase of around 440 rupees. What's more interesting is the price increase is higher than what the street was working with. So the street likes it. Jio Financial Services, we pointed out earlier today that Reliance Industries seems to have found its mojo back. Most of Jio Financial gets its value from Reliance's from the holding they have in Reliance. So it has to play a bit of a catch-up. Then, in fact, maybe that's the stock to focus on from here on as well. So I'll keep an eye out on that name. On the flip side, you have Sonata Software. The stock ended high with a gain of 13% in Wednesday's trading session. Anticipating good numbers coming from Microsoft. The numbers are good, but the stock seems to have priced in advance. So that's why that stock's down close to around 2.5% as we speak. And I think the sector of the day really is tech. That's opened up with a good gain. So let's pull up the IT index. You have the Bank Nifty that's up close to around 280 points. The Nifty IT index as well. We had lots of earnings coming in from, from the globe in the last couple of trading sessions. And it seems to have taken a hint from there because the NASDAQ as well did bounce back. I think pull up JSPL. That stock, in fact, initially did start off with a cut of close to around 3%. There was a lot of pre-positioning getting into those numbers. No big shocker, but it appears there is some routine profit taking that you saw. So that's why that stock is down close to around 2.5% or thereabouts. It's a good looking screen. Some of those shots that were taken in Wednesday's trading session could be in for a bit of trouble if the screen holds as it is.
So it's an 80-point up move on the Nifty at this point, 85 now. So actually 24,420 at this stage coming through. Let's just quickly, I think we mentioned PNB Housing. PNB Housing is the number 2 big volume-led gainer. The deal, the block went through in the morning. It's got 6% gains now, 1,073 on it. Coromandel, we'll speak with the management later. That's the 4th biggest volume-led gainer. It's about 4.5% higher right now. Moil is up 5%. Moil is coming up with about 332 rupees. Again, it's got decent-sized volumes for this point in the day. And Nuvoco, which also reported numbers, and I think there is strong profitability expansion. 8% on Nuvoco. Stocks at about 345 coming through. And I can spot a few more, UPL, NCC, etc. But I mean, volumes are still yet to pick up on some of these names at this point in time. I mean, on the downside, there is, some reversals, etc., which are going on. Phoenix Limited, the mall operator, is down 5.5%. And Eicher Motors is down about 2.5%. Federal, and the rest are all result reactions. I mean, I think we've mentioned those, which is Eternal, Indus Tower, Paris. As I said, 65% from the April lows. Paris is down about 3% post numbers. And Federal is down about 2% as well.
Just one word on Nuvoco. Those numbers were good. Actually, we put out a review and, the volumes were good. The profitability has jumped up as well. The debt has come down, which has been a problem out there.
Yeah.
The only concern is how do they ramp up some of those acquisitions going ahead? They have a con call later today, post-market hours. So we'll have to keep an eye out on the commentary. But the performance last quarter was good. And valuation's palatable at around $70 on an EV per ton basis. Just one more word. We're looking at stocks, but I think we should pull up the Indian rupee. If I saw that correctly, the Indian rupee has strengthened and it's breached that 84-odd mark. Now it's at around 83.86. So good, recovery is what we've seen in the Indian rupee. Keep in mind, the dollar index was stronger overnight. That had breached the 100-odd mark. The yen, in fact, did show some weakness, but the Indian rupee seems to be the outlier. It's strengthened even more.
Money. The FPIs, maybe.
I think, so month end, there's a lot of demand for dollars.
Yeah.
So we've turned the month, and I think there is a little bit of a pop which is going on there. And of course, I mean, the big driver has been very strong foreign flows, equity flows, which I think is the head. And for now, the rupee is the tail in that sense.